We have to fix the right problems, and you have to stop telling yourself that something's part of your personality if it's actually keeping you away from what you need. And when you fix it, not only will you get your health back, you'll be a happier person. One of the things that I work on a lot with people is how they stop themselves. So the most powerful thing in your ability to recover is all right here. All right? It's all right here. It's your brain. And your brain is either going to be the thing that pushes you past every obstacle to get to your dream or your goal, or it's going to be the thing that holds you back from that dream or goal. And so one of the things that I've always been good at is seeing people and really understanding in the moment what's stopping them. I just had that experience with someone who she met with me, her mom got her a session with me, and within the first 10 minutes, she was bawling her eyes out. She's like, how did you do that? This is what I do, is I've always been an empath. I've always been able to connect with people and see how they hold themselves back. So what I wanted to give you today is 3 main ways that I see people hold themselves back. So maybe you might be able to identify that yourself and be able to help yourself. So what I find that people often do as a defense mechanism, especially if they've had traumatic childhoods or felt unsupported or not loved in their childhoods or not loved in the way they needed to be, is they will develop defense mechanisms where they act in a way that's pathological, but they'll tell themselves it's kind of their personality. Okay. So ones that I see often will be when someone goes, well, you know, it's just because I'm a people pleaser. And I'll say, no, you've got a fear that you are not lovable enough just being who you are. And so you have a pathological need to try to do things that other people find pleasing, hoping that that will make them accept you and love you. And then, of course, they start crying. But my goal is not to make people cry. That's never my goal, but to help them see that their issue is not that they have a personality of being pleasing, but they have a fear of not being lovable. And when we work on that fear, and I teach them how to love themselves, then they stop trying to do things that hurt them, thinking it could make other people happy, right? So I've done actual whole sessions about just people pleasing, even in these lives. Another one I see a lot is someone will say, oh, I'm just a perfectionist. And I'll say, I don't know, because you're not doing things perfectly, you're sabotaging yourself. What you have is a fear that if you don't show up perfect, you'll be rejected, that you won't be loved or accepted unless you show up perfect. And so if you don't think you're perfect, you don't show up at all. And then, right? Again, I confront it not to hurt, but to help them see that their fear of being rejected is actually stopping them from having the health that they want, right? If you join my rapid recovery group and you eat off plan, if you post your log and you get coaching, I'm going to help you figure out how to fix that problem and get on plan, and you're going to heal. But if you eat off plan and you just don't post that day, then yes, I didn't see that you didn't eat off plan, but I also didn't get to help you solve the problem. And guess what? You're going to keep eating off plan. So again, this is one where people will kind of say it like a point of pride as a self-defense mechanism when it's really something that's hurting them. And the one that I got today that I made someone cry today, but it was good. She said it was therapeutic, was she had Crohn's. Well, she has Crohn's. And when she started doing my smoothies, she felt really good. And then she went to school, and she's on a school lunch plan, their meal plan, and it's terrible stuff, like Chick-fil-A and Subway as part of the meal plan. And I said, do you have a refrigerator? She said, yes. I said, is your school in a city? She said, yes. Does the city have a supermarket? Yes. So why aren't you just getting groceries and putting them in your dorm room and eating on plan so you can heal? Well, groceries are expensive. I said, who paid for your appointment today? She said, my mother. I said, so is your mother willing to pay for your groceries? She goes, she would, but I'm fiercely independent and I don't like to ask for help. And I said, why don't you think you're worthy of people's help? Why are you so afraid of asking for help? And then she didn't expect that. And there was, crying, but I said, tell me what happened that you're so afraid to ask for help. And we got into it. And she had a childhood where she felt depressed and alone and, got more of the snap out of it kind of stuff rather than the real emotional help she needed. And so as a child, she developed a belief that even if she asked for help, she wasn't going to get it. And so she had to be independent, right? And in a way, it's wonderful. In spite of having chronic depression and all that stuff, she's in college and she's doing stuff, right? And I congratulated her. I said, you're a badass. Because even though you didn't get the emotional support you needed, you are succeeding and you're making something of your life. And if you keep telling yourself that the only way you can succeed is on your own, you're not going to get healthy. You are a broke college student and you cannot afford the groceries you need to heal, but you have a mother who's willing to pay for it. Let her help you in the way she can. She couldn't help you with the emotions. She can help you with paying for the groceries. Let her help you. And so now she's going to help you. So it's a really important thing. If you find yourself sabotaging yourself and you don't know why, oftentimes you need somebody else to be able to look at you and say what that is. Like I said, that's something I've always been able to do. And I think I hear it almost every session, the first time I meet someone, almost every time they say, you just gave me more in an hour than I've gotten in 20 years of therapy. And it's a huge compliment and I appreciate it. But it's because for me, when I'm sitting with a person, I can feel their heart and I don't just listen to what they say, but I feel the feelings that go with it. And it also, I'm not afraid to confront people on it because I know it's done out of love. I don't confront people on these things to make them feel bad. I confront them because I love them and I want them to get better and stop lying to themselves. I care about every one of you. It's why I take the time to do these sessions. I like to take this time because I want as many people out there to live healthy, happy lives as they can. And sometimes it does take someone else to say, you're telling yourself this, but that's not true. And if you keep telling yourself that, you're never going to get healthy. All right, we have to fix the right problems and you have to stop telling yourself that something's part of your personality if it's actually keeping you away from what you need. Then it's a pathology. It's not a personality trait. It's a pathology that needs to be fixed so that you can heal. And when you fix it, not only will you get your health back, you'll be a happier person.